Alright, so y'all been asking for a whole cake vid for a very long time. And honestly, I've been wanting to do more whole cake videos on this channel because I only have one. Luffy faces Katakuri. Yeah, that video is 1 year old, nearly about to be 2 soon. And it's crazy to think that I've been doing this for 2 years. Time do be flying, but I do appreciate y'all for even sticking with me for that long. That is actually insane love, bro. But besides all of that, my whole purpose of making this video is I want to go over some of the pain that my boy Sanji had to go through. So with that being said, let's dive straight into it. Alright y'all, so the first thing I want to talk about how my boy Sanji had to fight his so-called dad. Should I even call him that? Sanji don't even recognize him as that. But anyways, dude is probably the worst father in One Piece, I'm not gonna lie. Let's talk about it a little bit. So the whole purpose of him even having these kids, for them to basically command their own army one day, turning them into a killing machine with no emotions at all. That way they could make the German kingdom even stronger. I mean, I guess that sound cool. But as you see, out of all of Sanji's siblings, he was the only one to have emotions. Well, I mean, his sister did too, but we're not going to talk about that right now at least. And out of all of them, he was the only one that didn't have his German genes activated. So when they went to go do some tests, he always failed at every single thing they did. Like for example, making these little kids hop off cliffs. I mean, who wouldn't be scared to do that? But Sanji was. Remember, Sanji still have his emotion intact. He also made them race. Sanji wasn't fast enough, and then when he fell down, he injured himself so easily. He even had them hopping over fire hurdles, bro. I get that they're supposed to be fighting machines, but come on, bro, they little kids. And yeah, we all know Sanji wasn't able to do that as well for obvious reasons. He even had them racing in the water. Sanji still wasn't able to keep up. I mean, y'all get the pattern. Sanji just wasn't fit for this. But guess what? The fact that Sanji wasn't fit for this, Sanji's own dad, Judge, despised Sanji for that. Like every time he messed up, he gave him this cold stare. That stare like, this nigga ain't my son. I'ma disown him any chance I get. Which is kind of fucked up. I said kinda. No, it is fucked up. But you see, that's not even the worst part about it. It wasn't only just his dad that didn't give a fuck about him. It was his own siblings as well. They always bullied this man for every single thing he did. And just like their dad, they treated him like a failure. Even when he got bullied by them, the dad seen it, it was like, I'm not gonna help you. Why should I? Fuck you mean, why should you? That's your son. I'm not gonna lie, bro, this had me sick to my stomach because I was like, yo, this nigga is fucking ridiculous. Even when they had sparring matches, they didn't even respect it. Once the match supposed to been over, it's supposed to been over. But nah, Neji just kept spamming and beating the fuck out of Sanji for no reason. And of course, his dad just gonna sit there and watch it. His siblings just gonna sit there and laugh. You can see that Reiju actually kind of cared, but she wanted to fit in, so she laughed at him as well, which is kind of fucked up as well. But I will give her credit because out of all of them, she the only one that actually showed that she cared. Besides the mother, of course. She was a very kind-hearted person, and Sanji resembled her a lot. But besides all of that, when Judge faked like Sanji was dead and threw him in a cage like he's a fucking rat or something, Reiji was the one that actually came and saved him to let him go on and live his life, because we all know that Sanji had it rough. He wasn't even allowed to cook. As soon as Judge seen that he was cooking, he got shitted on so badly, it's not even funny, bro. Moral of the story of all of this, I just wanted to show y'all how terrible of a father Judge was to Sanji. I may have skipped over a little bit of stuff, but I just wanted to paint the main picture of how Judge really is a bad father. And now that y'all know that, let's continue. So Judge walks in a room and he already started talking shit to Sanji, telling him to show respect to your father. Who? No worries, Sanji. I almost hopped through the screen and beat his ass for you. Sanji said, I already got a father and it ain't you. Judge responds back by telling Sanji that he seen that he roughed up Yonji a little bit. And it's kind of crazy considering the fact that he's strong. Hey, I guess that make me even stronger. See, Yonji thought he was going to be able to pull a fast one like old time's sake and beat up my boy Sanji. And the crazy thing about it, Sanji was telling bro to get out his face. He still didn't want to listen, so he paid the price. Sanji deadass used off-screen hockey on him. He wasn't even worth my boy time. Eventually, Judge wanted to throw hands with his own son because he was so pissed at him. And Sanji accepted that fight because he ain't no bitch. So the fight starts off with Judge running full speed ahead towards Sanji. And look at my boy Sanji just standing there with no problem at all because he knows that he's him. Anywho, Judge throws a strike at Sanji and he weaves it. And then from that point on, Judge just started spamming strikes at Sanji, hoping they would land. Meanwhile, my boy Sanji just cool, calm, and collected, just dodging every single attack he throws at him. Eventually Sanji got tired of that and he goes for an attack of his own. Although Judge blocked that attack, that still wasn't stopping Sanji for spamming more kicks at him. And then once he was done with that, Judge started spamming more strikes at him and Sanji just was weaving them again. Sanji hops up in the air and does this smooth ass kick. Judge blocked it, but that still doesn't take away how smooth it was. After that, they both got back to their rightful positions. Then Judge goes running towards Sanji headfirst again. Sanji just stands there and blocks that attack with no problem. Well, I won't say with no problem because he did kind of feel that attack this time around. Judge seen that he kept using his legs too much, so he decided to throw Sanji a weapon. That way they can both go weapon for weapon. But Sanji was like, oh hell nah, I don't need this. I only use my hands for cooking and only that. And you gotta respect that. Sanji stayed true to himself. So with that being said, Judge didn't like the fact that he still be cooking. And also Sanji saying he would go back to his crew after he so-called married Pudding. Judge turns on his jet booster shoes and started flying towards Sanji. Alright, we fighting in the air? Bet, that's what I love doing. Sanji then does a flaming bat flip kick towards Judge, but Judge blocks it and grabs Sanji's legs, throwing him down, following up with a lightning kick directly towards Sanji's chin, sending my boy flying once more. While Sanji was on the ground, he asked himself, do you owe somebody respect just because you're related to them by blood? And Sanji, I can answer that for you. If somebody treating you like shit, I don't give a damn if they're blood or not. You don't owe them no respect. And I go for y'all too. If y'all got somebody in y'all life that treating y'all like dog shit, just doesn't give a no fucks about you, I'm here to tell you right now, they don't deserve your respect, bro. Like, they just don't. Be careful who you call your friends and fam. But anywho, he even asked himself, do he have any fond memories of him? Can't think of one, right? So eventually Sanji turned all of that pain and suffering into anger, and he charged up his kick like he never did before. He was getting ready to kick the shit out of Judge, but since Judge wanna be a cheater, he used some of his men to block him as he stabbed one of his men, which that distracted Sanji from trying to kick him, causing Sanji to get sent flying, which led to Judge bitch ass being the winner. Another moment I want to talk about that was really heartbreaking was the part when Sanji was saying his goodbyes to Luffy. Now, if I'm being real with y'all, I was kind of mad at Sanji because he ain't had to do my boy Luffy like this. But at the same time, I still understand where Sanji was coming from. So with that being said, as soon as Luffy seen Sanji, he started running right towards his side, telling him how happy he was to see him and he couldn't wait to take him back. But next thing you know, he gets kicked in the face, all because he was happy to see his homie. You want to know what Sanji said? Leave my sight, you bunch of low-class pirates. Now I want you to ask yourself this. Does this sound like something Sanji would say? No, obviously he wasn't being himself, and the fact that Luffy picked that up right away shows you how true of a friend Luffy really is. Sanji even told Luffy that he already forgot their name, but Luffy was not buying that. Yoji was like, let me step in, but Sanji was like, nah, I got this, I'll send him packing myself. But to put it into short terms, Sanji was making it seem like he didn't give no fucks about the crew or none of them, but in reality that was all just a lie, and Luffy knew all of this. Sanji begins his attack on Luffy, and Luffy just sat there and took it. I wonder why. And that wasn't just no normal kick. Sanji put his all into that. Mind you, Luffy didn't use no haki or anything to defend himself, which led to him getting hurt and losing a teeth. What are you waiting for? Use your haki. Why do I need haki for? You are my friend. I'm not gonna fight you. If you don't want to fight, then go away. Not gonna happen. You're stuck with me. Sanji tells Luffy that he's selfish and was like, fine, you can have it your way, as he kicks him. But guess what? That still wasn't stopping my boy Luffy for staying on his 2 feet. My boy out here looking like Katakuri. But that's besides the point. Nami was telling Sanji to chill out. We just came here to help you. Luffy fought one of Big Mom's toughest generals just to see you. By the way, if y'all want a video on that, let me know in the comments. That's the only way how I'll know if y'all truly want it for real. But yeah, Luffy was like, cut it out, Nami. It's between us. We're having a duel. But Sanji was like, oh yeah, so that's all you think this is? As he charged ahead towards Luffy, kicking him on the side. Luffy was still remaining strong, so Sanji kicks him in the stomach, then in the chin, and from that point on he just kept kicking Luffy so many times, but Luffy was not breaking no matter what. And these wasn't just no normal kicks, he was actually putting force into these. Not gonna lie though, it was really sad to see this. He even had Nami over here crying, bro. After he gives Luffy that last final kick, he tells him to go away, but of course Luffy's response to that was he ain't going nowhere. Immediately after, Sanji kicks Luffy again, and he tells Luffy, alright, I see you want to be stubborn. This next kick I'm I'm not gonna hold back, so whatever happens to you, don't blame me. Sanji started to spin around in circles so fast his feet turned into flames. Then he jumps up so high in the sky to make sure Luffy feel this attack. Afterwards, he come back down and finish it with one last blow, causing Luffy to pass out, leading their so-called duel to come to a close. Once it was over, Nami went crying towards Luffy's side to see if it was okay, and as you can see, my boy is in bad shape. Nami was like, hold up, where you think you're going? She walk up on Sanji and give him a mean slap and then tells him, now we're done. That's what I'm talking about, Nami. Although the shit was sad though. But even after all of that, Luffy still got back up and told Sanji to come back. All of your excuses sounded so fake. I don't know why you said all of that crap, but I know you don't really mean it. You really think that's gonna make me leave like we ain't friends? A couple of dumb lies won't make me give up on my friends. What do you take me for? I'm not stupid. I know what's happening. No matter how much you kick me, you're the one that's truly getting hurt. Our journey isn't over. I'm staying right here and I'm not moving an inch. I'm gonna keep waiting here until you come back. And if you leave me here, I'll just starve to death. And as he said these heart-touching words, first off, I want y'all to listen to this. Like, she was out in her bag saying this, bro. I can't really show nothing, so I'll just let y'all listen to it. But yeah, once Luffy said all of that, he had my boy Sanji in tears because Sanji knew what Luffy was telling him was nothing but the truth. Look at his siblings just laughing at him though. Shit crazy. This is still one of the most heart-touching moments to this day in One Piece. But the last moment I want to talk about, and I'm not going to really go too much over it, but the last moment I want to talk about is how my boy Sanji got his heart broken. And let's be real, y'all, we all had to go through this one time at least, no matter if you're a female or a male. It happened. Or maybe you was one of those that was actually breaking hearts. Anyways, Sanji was out here cooking, making food for Puddin and everything, getting ready to be on his way to see her. And once he make it to the front of her door, this ugly door tells him, hell nah, you can't come in here. She's doing something. So eventually Sanji was like, alright, just give her all of this. She still tell him it's a no-no. So Sanji ended up making his way towards her window. And honestly, bro, that's probably the last thing he should have done because she was talking mad shit about him. Not only was she doing that, she was holding his sister hostage, letting her hear all of this. But anyways, her whole plan was to let Sanji see her third eye at the wedding, so that way once he see it, he'll get shocked, and just like that, she can kill him. She was out here making fun of his backstories and everything, bro. Moral of the story, she talked mad crap about him behind his back. And once Sanji heard all of that, he was hella depressed, bro, which gave us this scene right here. Alright y'all, that's gonna wrap up the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I know y'all been asking for some Wholecake vids for quite some while, so I had to deliver. My whole purpose of making this video for real though is to show y'all how much L's that this man Sanji was taking and how much pain he was really going through. Maybe I'll make a part 2 of his comeback in Wholecake, I don't know, but y'all gotta let me know on that. But besides all of that, I'll see y'all in the next one, man.